Being a stan is something people have looked down on for most of its existence. It can completely take over the internet in more ways than one, for all the right and wrong reasons. It's usually wrong. A lot of big personalities tend to have them, and everybody else, they're seen as the worst thing ever. But first, we need to find out, what makes a stan? A stan is an incredibly passionate and committed fan. Unlike average fans, stans usually go out of their way to express their love for someone or something. But what would make somebody become a stan? I'd say one thing is they get incredibly attached when they're younger. Kids are incredibly obsessive and dedicated. When they see something, they tend to cling to it very tightly. I would know this. I've dropped countless hours in the pixel gun, and it can mold them into the adult they become. Another thing pertaining kids is they can use an internet personality to substitute a parental figure they're lacking. I'm sure you've all seen comments saying, "You were my internet dad, you were my internet mom, you raised me." And with them unintentionally filling that role, they seem to have a more personal attachment to the person. This can also be the case for people with parental figures that aren't properly fulfilling their roles. A big thing that I feel like makes up a good chunk of stans are people with obsessive tendencies. There are neurodivergent people that tend to have hyperfixations. I also think you can be someone who extremely relates to a certain figure. When your morals and ideals align with theirs, you tend to form a bias towards them, which probably prompts someone to support them more than usual. Now, contrary to popular belief, there are positives of being a stan. One thing is that you're in a big supportive community. You can interact with people who have the same interests as you, just as much as you. Communities can come together and actually do some good. Yeah. That's about it. There are quite a few reasons as to why being a stan is bad. It's not good to be in a parasocial relationship with anybody. Ever. Now, obviously that's gonna happen to some degree, but it shouldn't come to a point where it becomes your entire personality when they don't even know you exist. When you're obsessive and really attached to someone, you create some faux image of them. You set up expectations of them that they never agreed to meet. People say never meet your heroes. I think you should, just don't expect them to be what you want them to be. One of the first things a stan community will be known for is doxing, harassing, or stalking of some sort. It's probably not the best idea to get a bunch of hyper-obsessive people to talk about certain things. There's also things like art and fan fiction, which can get pretty dark. Having a community of stans can also lead to an echo chamber, in which they'll completely devoid the figure of criticism. Oh, they're a bad person? Hater. They blew up a hospital? Didn't ask. They did what in their cup? Yeah. Don't care. It's also not healthy for the figure to have an army of yes men telling them that everything they do is the right thing to do. Nobody's perfect and you should never be told otherwise. So, should people be stans? Yeah, no. Cultivating an audience with an unhealthy obsession and toxic environment is not a good thing. You shouldn't be so emotionally attached to people that can't reciprocate the feeling. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of someone or something, but it shouldn't get to a point where it's becoming your entire personality and you're absolving them of any criticism. So just enjoy things. Just be sure to not let it go too far. Your mom is a pretty big stan of me though.